Hello. We are going to continue on with the readings, and I'm sorry I missed yesterday. I was at a family's house, my sister-in-law's house, and we had dinner and everything, and I spent most of the day there, so it really wasn't the best environment to film these videos, but we'll continue on. At this point, we are at Surah 41, where we left off, and then I will continue through Surah 42. And then again, I appreciate everyone who takes the time to watch these. It's very important to me that I get the messages that I need to get out. It's good for me and it's good for all of us. So for anybody that does watch these and does care, thank you a lot. And say you missed the video and you don't want to go back and watch, if anybody wants the documents that I record all of these in, like the where I what is the word that I'm looking for? Sorry, it's been a very long day. I should have done this earlier, but I think it's better to do it in the evening so that people who are online at night can see it after work and such. But yeah, so this is going to be a continuation. Yeah, so if you do want, oh, and you see I have more flowers behind me. If anybody does want the actual document with all of the records in it, then I will give them out freely. But anyway, let's continue. This is Surah 41, which is Fussilat, which is expounded. And we'll go ahead and start out in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Say thou, I am but a man like you. It is revealed to me by inspiration that your God is one, so stand true to him and ask for his forgiveness. And woe to those who join gods with Allah, those who practice not regular charity, and who even deny the hereafter. And for those of you, there was I think 30-something people that did watch my last video. This touches on basically what I was saying. Those are kind of the main things. How important it is if you do consume or if you do acquire a lot in this life, it's really good to give back as much as possible or to spend that money not on yourself just because of the scales is what we talked about. And then the other important point, not to deny the fact that there is the one, right, who started it all, and to deny the hereafter and deny that there is a life after, because so much goes on up there that we aren't aware of here. So just to be flat out denial for most of your life that doesn't exist is pretty insulting, I would say. So we sent against them a furious wind through the days of disaster, that we might give them a taste of penalty of humiliation in this life. But the penalty of the hereafter will be more humiliating still, and they will find no help. And then this is a comment on the hell, right, that we talked about. There is the fire, right, but it's progressed a lot to be lots of different versions. And I like how the Qur'an states the humiliation of it. It's not a private thing because there are others there with you, and I could argue that there is a sense of expectation that does go on from God. God is far off, but he can still access, that part, or the angels. Like, you're not alone, so it's humiliating to be in a position that of hell, and it's rough. So it's a warning, essentially. Ye did not seek to hide yourselves, lest your hearing, your sight, and your skin should bear witness against you. But ye did think that Allah knew not many of the things that ye used to do. And this is basically he's saying Allah knew the things that you used to do. He's not really saying that currently in this present moment all the things that you're doing are wrong, but like you have to consider you have lived lives before this. So there are things that you used to do that you are currently in this life still making atonement for. So try not to forget, your past. If you can, do some sort of past life regression and ask God, ask for his advice on how to go back and see who you were and what you did in the past, and then therefore you can better make atonement in this life, or just spend more private quiet time thinking about it, and it should come to you sooner rather than later. I know a lot of people have been doing past life regression, and they are starting to be more aware of the lives that they lived before this. We are your protector in this life and in the hereafter. Therein shall ye have that all your soul shall have all that your souls shall desire. Therein shall ye have all that ye ask for. And this is another thing that I really like about the Quran and why I like to read it, because it does talk a lot about we. A lot of the times Allah is referred to as we, which I do like. And basically, yeah, we have everything that you should ask for, and afterwards especially. Who is better in speech than one who calls men to Allah, works righteousness, and says, I am one of those who bow in Islam. And among his signs is this: Thou seest the earth barren and desolate, but when ye send down rain to it, it is stirred to life and yields increase. Truly, he who gives life to the dead earth can surely give life to men who are dead, for he has power over all things. And again, this reinstates the truth of reincarnation, and that we have given life to people even after they are dead, and that's beyond the heavens as well. Sent down rains. And then I was going to mention something of the rain, but that's another time. And yes, and I do actually bow in Islam. I've started praying 5 times a day, and it's good. I set alarms. I can also post the times of day that you're supposed to pray for Islam, and it's a good reminder just to take a break and to be thankful. My prayers are very simple. I even still pray the Our Father and the Hail Mary, because those are very beautiful and powerful prayers. But the 5 prayers just remind you to be thankful, and I usually just go about saying thank you for this, thank you for this, thank you for this. I don't ask for anything, even if it hasn't happened yet. If it's something that I want or something that I'm seeking, I always say thank you in advance, because more likely than not, he is already aware that that's something that I need, and that it is that you're already in the works, or already being done. So I'm always just grateful over anything, for everything. And this is the last surah in this. Soon we shall show them our signs in the furthest regions of the earth, and in their own souls, until it becomes manifest to them that this is the truth. It is not enough that Lord doth witness all things. Ah, indeed, are they in doubt concerning the meeting with their Lord? Ah, indeed, it is He that doth encourages all things. So basically, the truth will be shown to you soon, and the signs will be manifest soon. You just have to seek them to an extent, and heed what we're saying, and be one of the ones that want to learn and to discover, because it is a really great reward, and you should want to meet him. You know what I'm saying? You should want to trust that will happen. Don't feel like, oh, it's never going to happen or something like that. It's coming, and even if you don't think that way, even if you don't think that that's important, or the afterlife isn't important, we don't discourage it. We really don't. But it's just, you are your own person at the end of the day, and we encourage all things. He encourages all things. It's really not here nor there what you choose to do with this life, but nobody likes to see suffering also. So just be in warning of that. And Surah 42, we're just going to continue on. This is the one for today. It's called Ashura, which is the consultation. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Thus doth he send inspiration to thee, as he did those before thee. Allah exalted in power, full of wisdom. Thus we have sent down by inspiration to thee an Arabic Qur'an, that thou mayest warn the mother of cities and all around her, and warn them of the day of assembly, which there is no doubt. when some of them will be in the garden and some in the blazing fire. So that's kind of what we talked about. Some say the end is near, some say that it's not, but in the context of being in heaven, in the context of being down here, it's close enough. Now then, for that reason, call them to faith, and stand steadfast as thou art commanded, nor follow their vain desires, but say, I believe in the book which Allah has sent down, and I am commanded to judge justly between you. Allah is our Lord and your Lord. On us is the responsibility for our deeds and for your deeds. There is no contention between us and you. Allah will bring us together, and to Him is our final goal. It is Allah who has sent down the book in truth and the balance by which to weigh conduct, and what will make thee realize that perhaps the hour is close at hand. So this right here, which is funny that I read this today and I just talked about this, he actually mentions, or, you know, it is mentioned the balance by which to weigh conduct. So it goes against what Carson said about the book being written by humans and yada yada yada. Even though it was written by humans, it was transcribed. It was not, you know, their minds conducting all of this, right? So it's saying the book is the truth. So whether you are a Bible person or a Qur'an person or any, you know, this book is truth. So there's really no other religious text, to be honest, besides the Bhagavad Gita, which is more of a narrative, I would say. Everything is really a narrative besides the Quran. The Bible is pretty narrative. Yes and no. But, well, the book is truth. And then he says, and the balance. So, the balance. So, sent down the book and the balance. So that's literally what I just talked about, by which to weigh conduct. So if you haven't seen that, you can click through to my last video and see what I was talking about on how it is you're judged at the end from all your lifetimes as one soul. So it's pretty intense. That will see the wrongdoers in fear on account of what they have earned and the burden of that must necessarily fall on them. So precisely what we are saying. But those who believe and perform righteous deeds will be in the luxuriant meads of the gardens. They shall have before their Lord all that they shall wish for. That will indeed be the magnificent bounty of Allah. So, you know, it's good. Righteous deeds are really good. It's not so important to live in excess while sacrificing the happiness of other people, because later is so much more worth it. So you are going to regret, you know, living so advanced here, and then later, even if you do live up there, it's going to be compromised because a lot of your giving here is shown afterwards. So yes, and then this is a little tidbit. I've actually had this experience when it said the burden of that must necessarily fall on them. When, you know what, I'm not going to go into this actually, but I did have like a fever dream around the time when I was a teenager, and I was sick, and it was when my hormones were raging and everything. It was like I was like 13 years old, and it was basically a dream where I felt like an immense pressure. It was like I was in like a stadium in the center, and then a giant press started to come down, and I started to feel the weight of the press come down on top of me, and it felt like it was a living energy that was coming down on top of me, and I felt like all of these people, like the energy of everybody around me. And this was at a time where I didn't make this connection then. I'm like, why? It was such a weird feeling because it was like a dream where you could feel and experience like it was an intense feeling, and I wasn't hurting, but it was just, I could feel just an immense pressure. And I'm not going to get into why exactly that dream had taken place, but if you can put two and two together, I was, you know, sleeping on the couch as a teenager, watching TV till late at night, you know. I don't think I had a phone, so I don't know if I was up texting boys, but it was at that time where, you know, I was starting to to shift a little bit from being a child into being more of an adult. So it was just a very weird feeling, and I never had that dream again besides that, but sometimes I would get like reoccurrences, like flashback of what that felt like, and it was immense. It was very immense. That's what that reminded me of. Let's see. Whatever misfortune happens to you is because of the things your hands have wrought, and for many of them he grants forgiveness. So this is take ownership, obviously, and understand that nothing is out of the blue. But for a lot of the things, you're already forgiven, even if you don't ask, because there's things that happened before that may have been made up. It's a whole thing. But yes, whatever ye are given here is but a convenience in this life. But that which Allah is better and more lasting. Oh, sorry. But that is which is with Allah is better and more lasting. It is for those who believe and put their trust in the Lord. So this is true. That's kind of what I talked about earlier. Those who hearken to their Lord and establish regular prayer, who conduct their affairs by mutual consultation, who spend out of what we bestow on them for sustenance. What I also talked about earlier. I guess I kind of had my thoughts before, but yes. And no protectors have they to help them other than Allah. And for any whom Allah leads astray, there is no way to the goal. So if you happen to be somebody that doesn't practice or is just completely separate from God or does not acknowledge Him, there's no way for you to go back. Nobody's gonna really tell you to go back unless you feel like you need to, or if we feel like we really need you. So if you have to make the decision at the end of the day, there will be certain people that are sought out, and I'm not to say that you're not all important, but if you really are astray and you don't want to go back, that is on you at the end of the day. We're not, the Qur'an, the Bible is a little bit different. It talks about different things, or Christianity more so will say, when you're at your lowest, God will come to you, and that does happen. But for this, it's more so saying there is really a challenge to get back. You have to want it deep in your soul, or somebody has to be looking out for you that cares a lot. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that we don't, but it's getting more complicated, more and more complicated as we speak. So it is not fitting for a man that Allah should speak to him, except by inspiration, or from behind a veil, or by the sending of a messenger to reveal, with Allah's permission, what Allah wills, for He is most high, most wise. The way of Allah, to whom belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on earth. Behold how all affairs tend towards Allah. So He is the beginning and the end. So just acknowledge that and regard that as such. And that's it for both of the surahs. I will do my best tomorrow. I've been getting a little bit busy with work and things like that, but I still always make a priority to at least think about reading the text. And even if I just read it, I circle what needs to be circled, and then I record it later. Record as in write it down. Why can't I think of the word? Transcribing it. I'll transcribe it, and then after that, I'm trying to do the posts, just so I can share it with others, because it serves a really good purpose for me. It's been really, really helping me for a long time, and so now I think it's just kind of a good thing. Might as well put it out and allow other people to participate, and allow other people to read it who wouldn't otherwise read it on their own. I think it is a service for others, and I have been compelled to do it as of lately. I never really thought to ever really share the fact that I read these religious texts, but why not, Of course, church is inspiring, but that's another story. I'm more so judgmental, I would say, during church. Nothing against the church people, but I'm very picky with my messages, and it's hilarious, because how I'm on here posting, give, donate. They're the same way. They're like, please give to the church. and we do give to the church. It's not like we don't give to the church. So they just almost spend too much time posting. I'm talking about me. They almost spend too much time posting. Again, they spend too much time talking in the sermon about donations and such like that. Like they spend like half an hour, and which is so ironic because I spend a lot of time creating the GoFundMe's and posting about them and sharing them. But it's more so because the kids are reaching out to me like, is anybody feedback, Bailey, please help, hungry all the time, sister, please. So it's more so they remind me to post. So it's, if I'm being annoying with the GoFundMe's, I'm sorry, but it is a very important thing, and this is really the easiest way. Like, if you have extra cash, if you don't have extra cash, it will come back to you, one way or another. You will get recompensated for it. So don't feel like, oh, I'm not in the position to give, yada yada yada. Anyways, I'm not gonna spend 30 minutes telling you how important it is to donate, but this is the Surah. I'm gonna go on to Paul, but I'm gonna do it in a separate video. But thank you all for watching, and have a fabulous evening. I'm gonna fix my flowers. But yes, all right. Have a good evening, everybody, and sleep well. Well, I know Californians aren't asleep yet. It's getting a little late over here on the East Coast, but good night.